Part 46. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 451. After Mr. Han left, Lu Ligan called Xiao Zanbo and told him that it would be better to choose a different day than to hit it. It happened that a friend of mine, he should be considered a teacher, needed your help with a little thing. In the evening, I asked your colleagues in the office. Celebrate your ascension. Xiao Zanbo was a little shy, and Lu Ligan said, "Why, you are a deputy department officer. You don't need friends to help you support the situation and establish prestige in front of your subordinates. If you don't want to, my little brother can't stand it." "Okay, let's book the VIP building then," Xiao Zanbo said. That night, Lu Ligan invited Xiao Zanbo and his entire office colleagues, as well as Mr. Han and Wen Wen, to have dinner in the VIP building. Zheng Wei also went with him. Lu Ligan told Xiao Zanbo about Mr. Han's request. Xiao Zanbo told Xiao Wu on the spot that if Wen Wen needs anything, you can provide it to her. Xiao Wu agreed. Xiao Zanbo and Mr. Han said, "Mr. Han, you are Mr. Liu's teacher. Mr. Liu is my brother. The teacher's business is also my business. In this way, can you print more admission notices? Why not come to us? For registered real estate companies, we will give them a copy directly." Yes, Xiao Wu also said that this has also helped them. Many people have registered with us and asked us what this real estate company does and how it should be done. Let them go to class and they will understand everything. These people are so courageous, they came all the way from the mainland to register a company without knowing anything, someone said. It's not surprising. I only learned a little bit about it by asking Mr. Han for advice a few days before I registered, Lu Ligan said. But when Sun Ho came back, he said you were an expert, and our two bank presidents also praised you very much, Zheng Wei said with a smile. That's because Mr. Han taught me well, Lu Ligan said. You have invested a lot of money. Mr. Han looked at Lu Ligan and smiled. You know, Lu Ligan asked a little embarrassedly. Of course, I still don't know how Randall could let you go without peeling off your skin, Mr. Han said. Zheng Wei heard this inexplicably and asked Lu Ligan what was going on. Xiao Zanbo and the others were also interested and wanted to know more. Mr. Han said nothing and looked at Lu Ligan with a smile. Lu Ligan thought about it. Anyway, times have changed, so there is no harm in talking about it, so he told the situation at that time so that everyone could listen. Laughed. When Mr. Han heard that Lu Ligan asked Zhang Chen to send 5,000 yuan to the Daowen Hotel that night, he couldn't help but sigh. I know you were treated badly that day, but I didn't expect it to be so miserable. Xiao Wu shouted, "You are so courageous, no wonder Mr. Lu can do great things. If it were me, I would be reluctant to lose all the money I have saved so hard for just one meal. I am just asking for advice, not doing business. So you can only teach me good classes honestly," Xiao Zanbo scolded. Mr. Han's class was very successful. All the 60 people in the first period were quickly recruited. Lu Ligan and the other 4 went, Li Yong also went, and everyone else from Mengping Company went, except Cao Ziahe. Mr. Han's lectures were very popular, and as Lu Ligan said, they were indeed informative. The reputation of the training course spread quickly. After one session, it couldn't be stopped. Then it was held one after another, and the number of people in each session was expanded to 100 people, but it was still hard to find a place. Mengping and his company did not fall behind in every issue. Either Qian Fang or Su Jiaking signed up for every issue. Lu Ligan was surprised and asked Mengping, "Why are these two people so stupid and need to be re-educated repeatedly?" Mengping smiled and said, "Where, that class are all our future customers. They go there with a mission to make friends." Lu Ligan understood that if Mengping's land was to be sold, wouldn't it be sold to these real estate companies? This old Meng really has a skill, and he learned it again. Mengping's land began to come out. Yulan not only heard the jingling sound of money coming back, but also heard the dull sound of money ding dong in the account. Yulan and Qianfang said, "This feels so good, every day I seeing more money in the account makes me laugh in my dreams at night." Unfortunately, the money often doesn't stay in the account for long before it has to be paid out. Meng Ping listens to Zheng Wei. As long as there is money in the account, he will take it and keep taking it. Every time Meng Ping he Yulan said, "When you pay the money," Yulan said with a sad face, "Are you going to pay again?" Meng Ping looked at Yulan, and he was surprised. "Why, shouldn't you pay this money? Hey, why do you look like you're heartbroken every time I ask you to pay?" Qianfang laughed to death beside her. She said it was fine, but Xiao was just scared. She's afraid if she doesn't make money, and she's still afraid of making money now. If this money doesn't go out, how can more money come in? Meng Ping shook his head. Yulan scolded, okay, Lao Meng, I won't find a boyfriend to avoid falling out of love, but please, can you leave a little money in the account, even if it makes me happy and giggles? You don't want the money to come in, just like a Japanese devil, come up with a 3 guang policy. Cao Zia, he said from the side. Xiao's words still make sense. They say that if the family has enough food, they should not panic. They should keep some money in case anything happens. That's right, Lao Meng, you are not a financial person. Financial risks still need to be controlled by professionals, and Yulan is the professional, Su Jiaking said. You haven't heard people say that money will keep coming if you have a sense of respect for money. Xiao has a sense of awe, Lao Meng, Qianfang also said. Meng Ping was so upset by several women that he could only give in. He said, okay, let's draw a red line. I agree that the company's assets should not be less than 5%, in the form of cash. Can I keep it on the company account? 10%, Yulan said. No, 10% is too much. Moreover, our assets are growing every day, so the cash retained on a pro-rata basis would be too much and not cost-effective. Meng Ping said, I think 5% is too much. It's too much, forget it, counting my slip of the tongue, it's 3%. No, Yulan shouted loudly. The result of the game between the two parties was 6% in the end. Meng Ping sighed and said, why do I feel that I am gradually losing control of the company? The four women all stared at him, and Meng Ping laughed. Now that he has money, Meng Ping bought a car, but he still didn't return Gui Lao's car. He asked Qianfang to get a driver's license, and the new car was given to her and Su Jiaking so that they could divide their forces to fight. Meng Ping took Yulan, and Qianfang took Su Jiaking. Meng Ping discovered that the gains from those two women were greater than him. Some things he found difficult to do were able to be completed smoothly by them. It seems that in a man's world, beautiful women are always at home. Even if it is a steel plate, men are willing to tear open a crack and let them drill through it. Meng Ping rented 3 houses in the same building next to the company, 2 large and 1 small. In one big house, Cao Ziahe and Yuan lived, as well as their nanny, and in the other big house, Su Jiaking and Yulan lived. If the apartment is small, let Qianfang live there. Meng Ping still lives in the office. But when Meng Ping returned to the office from outside, he found that all his things in the office were missing. When he asked them, they said they had moved away to the small house, and Qianfang went to live with Su Jiaking and the others. The boss sleeps on the floor while we sleep in the building. This makes us feel that we are the most cruel and exploitative employees in the world, Qianfang and Meng Ping said. Oh, you don't know, Meng Ping sighed repeatedly. Don't know what? Qianfang asked. You're making me lose my power. It's not that I like sleeping on the floor, Meng Ping shouted. Lao Meng, please tell me clearly, what is going on? Su Jiaking asked. I swore to Gangzi and Zhang Chen that if I, Lao Meng, want to live, I will live in the house I built myself, otherwise I will not leave the office, Meng Ping shouted. Where is the house? The house I built myself is here. Where? How can a man break his promise? Stop thinking, Qianfang said disdainfully, there is no way this plan can keep up with the changes. Zhang Chen is not in Heiken now, and Lu Ligan has long forgotten what you said. No, I didn't say this to them. I made a promise to myself, and they are just witnesses, Meng Ping said. Su Jiaking chuckled, okay, Lao Meng, we all know your lofty ideals. We all know that you refuse to leave the office. You are being held hostage by us now. You have no choice but to do it. You have no choice but to do it. Meng Ping felt that not only was he gradually losing control of the company, he was also about to lose his personal freedom. However, it was still good to be surrounded by these women. I wish you all a happy new year. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 452. Every 1 or 2 days, without any prior agreement or even any indication, Lu Ligan would stay alone in the office until about 10 o'clock, then he would go to the Yedeo Hotel opposite, take the elevator to the 8th floor, and walk to at the door of room 809. As soon as he pressed the doorbell, the door opened a crack, and Zheng Wei pulled him in. When he wanted to come, it was often when Zheng Wei missed him. Zheng Wei had already taken a bath and was waiting for him in his nightgown. The two of them were behind the door. Lu Lizan stood with his back against the wall of the bathroom, hugging and kissing until Zheng Wei felt dizzy and almost suffocated and fell down. Even her voice trembled. She and Lu Lijian said, go take a shower, I'll wait for you. Zheng Wei usually does not smoke, but after she is done, she will ask Lu Ligan for a cigarette. Lu Ligan still does the same, holding the cigarette in his mouth and lighting it. Zheng Wei has turned around, closed his eyes, and raised his head slightly. Lu Ligan put the cigarette into her mouth, then lit one himself. The two of them smoked and talked. It's over, Zheng Wei sighed. What's wrong? Lu Ligan asked. It becomes addictive and becomes a habit. Lu Ligan didn't know whether she was talking about smoking or something else. Lu Ligan said lightly, then it will become a habit. No, I won't be able to live without you. Then don't leave. Zheng Wei was silent, and after a while, he let out a long sigh. You don't understand, this matter is not as simple as you think. How complicated it is. It's very complicated. This will involve a lot of people and things. Zheng Wei frowned slightly and said to himself, I've known this would happen since I was a child. I'm just a humming code, a symbol. There was a saying at that time, I am the screw of the revolution, I drill wherever it is needed. I think that's what I am, go to hell. Zheng Wei rarely uses foul language, but when she does, it doesn't feel vulgar at all. Instead, it has a crisp and cheerful energy. Lu Ligan thinks it's even a little sexy, and he likes it very much. He also liked the way she smoked, with her eyes looking ahead, thoughtfully, her long fingers, and scarlet lips, and she put the cigarette into her mouth lightly, like a dragonfly dabbling on water, taking a slight puff and leaving. It looked so special. Grace. When Zheng Wei smokes, she doesn't inhale the smoke, but spits it out gently when it reaches her mouth. Her round lips will make a slight whistle. Sometimes she will turn her head and blow out the smoke on Lu Ligan's lips. On his face, the smell of cigarette smoke mixed with the smell of her perfume and the warm breath in his mouth made Lu Ligan feel particularly stimulated. Zheng Wei didn't want to continue the topic about herself and Lu Ligan. She changed the topic to work and said to Lu Ligan, our plan has been rejected. Sun Ho will officially notify you tomorrow. Why? Lu Ligan asked. It's still the old man's idea. I feel like I'm holding a golden rooster and can't bear to let it go. Zheng Wei smiled softly, it's your fault too. You were the one who proposed the original plan. It just so happens that they can use the old one. You come to refute the current you are asking for trouble. When Lu Ligan saw Hainan's current momentum, he felt a little uneasy. He felt that the momentum was too strong, just like a screenwriter writing a script. If the play starts with a climax and no foreshadowing, although such a play is very effective at the beginning, it attracts the audience's attention and makes them want to continue watching. However, such a play is often difficult to clean up later and will end badly in all likelihood. Because the audience's appetite and expectations are raised very high by you at the beginning, and they will only become more and more disappointed. In the end, before you finish the work, the audience's confidence and interest have already collapsed, and they have left you long ago. He is strong and he is strong, and the breeze blows on the hills. He lets him do whatever he wants, and the bright moon shines on the river. The prerequisite for being so calm is that I have enough energy. The longer the breath, the better the sound can travel farther, not the higher or lower the volume. Lou Ligon felt that when this fierce tide came down, it might smash a lot of things and people on the beach. This was also the calmness he learned from Lu Yun and from Huang Hongguang. Lesson: Lou Ligon's idea is to take advantage of this opportunity to immediately change their original idea of only leasing but not selling the Jinghai International Financial Center, and start selling it immediately. It will definitely become a favorite among these investors who are pouring in from the mainland. Well, this project, while piling is still being driven, can be sold out in a short period of time, and the profits and subsequent construction funds have already been pocketed. If you only want to rent but not sell, you have to wait for the project to be completed and accepted before it can be used, which will take at least 21 months. In this way, although the originally expected long-term income is gone, once the funds are withdrawn, they can be invested in other short-term and quick projects. You can also make other profits before the craze subsides. Zheng Wei supports Lou Ligon's idea. She also believes that the investment in the Jinghai International Financial Center project is too large. Even from the perspective of preventing financial risks, the investment should be recovered as soon as possible. Lou Ligon has talked about this matter with Sun Ho many times. Sun Ho always said that they would think about it again and discuss it. The original plan was submitted to the Superior Bank for approval. Now it is not possible to modify the plan. The approval of the Superior Bank is required. Lou Ligon knew what they were thinking. He just felt that he was not short of money and there would be no problem with subsequent construction funds. Moreover, they predicted that the house in Hainan, like the land they bought originally, would increase in value in the long term, so they sold it now. Is short-sighted. On the contrary, Lou Ligon's original plan is a long-term and far-sighted plan. Zheng Wei also reminded Lou Ligon that if this plan was reported to the higher-level bank, the higher-level bank would definitely object, because if they only rented but not sold, it would mean that they would always have such a major asset in Hainan, both in terms of appearance and from the future expansion of their business in Hainan, it will be beneficial. The most important thing is that the Superior Bank does not need to bear direct responsibility for the risks caused by the investment. Now that his proposal has been officially rejected, it seems that Zheng Wei's judgment was correct. What, are you a little frustrated? Zheng Wei touched Lou Ligon's arm with his elbow and asked. No, I thought when I mentioned it, there was a 50% chance that they would refuse, Lou Ligon said. A little bit, right? Okay, a little bit, Lou Ligon smiled. Don't worry, I will always stand by your side on this matter, even if the plan is rejected. Thanks. Zheng Wei took a puff of cigarette and lightly sprayed it on Lou Ligon's face. He took another puff and sprayed it on his face again. Lou Ligon couldn't stand it anymore and wanted to use his hands or feet. Zheng Wei said, take a rest. Yes, Lou Ligon could only sit obediently. I want to ask you something, Zheng Wei said. What? Do you know why Chiang Kai-shek persisted during the 8-year War of Resistance so hard, but when it came to the Liberation War, even though his troops were strong, they were completely destroyed in just 3 years and were quickly annihilated by us? Lou Ligon smiled and said, how do I know? I haven't studied this. My grandfather summed it up. Oh, what did you say? Lu Lizan became interested. My grandfather said that during the anti-Japanese war, Chiang Kai-shek himself was in Chongqing. He had to hide from the Japanese bombs and it was too late to save his life. At that time, the country's troops were scattered in various places, fighting on their own. In fact, Chiang Kai-shek had no ability and no may actually command these troops. Like Taizhuang, Li Zongren was commanding it. In the Changsha battle, Lao Zhang didn't agree at all. It was Shui Yu who insisted on fighting, and Lao Zhang had no choice, so these battles were all won. In the War of Liberation, Chiang Kai-shek had gained weight and no one was bombing him anymore. He could fly around on the Miling. What happened was that Chiang Kai-shek often overstepped his authority and went into battle himself to replace the front-line commanders. And those front-line commanders, the Kuomintang generals, broke away from the front-line command positions and hid behind the large troops. In turn, the campaign command authority of our front-line commanders is fully respected, and they can make decisions flexibly based on the rapidly changing conditions on the battlefield. How could he pursue the Huanghui Corps at such a critical moment in the Huaihe campaign? Su Yu didn't sleep for 7 days and 7 nights. He stayed by the phone day and night, using the phone to direct the battle and adjust the deployment of combat forces. Do you think, what if he kept asking for instructions? If you keep listening to the instructions, how can you fight this battle? How can you possibly win? And all our front-line commanders have directly moved their command posts to the forward positions. The changes on the battlefield are in their eyes. Do you think that when two forces like this confront each other, won't the victory or defeat be determined? Lu Ligan nodded, he thought this made sense. Are we now like Chiang Kai-shek's troops? We are on the front line, but we have no decision-making power. Those who have decision-making power have no understanding of the situation on the front line. Zheng Wei asked, and Lu Ligan said, it's very similar. How about we do it ourselves? Zheng Wei suddenly said. Lu Ligan was startled and asked, what did you say? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 453. I said, either we can do it ourselves, Zheng Wei repeated. What do you mean? Lu Ligan asked. What I mean is that instead of being controlled by others, we might as well do it ourselves. I still have some connections, so it will be easier than Lao Meng to find funds, Zheng Wei said. Lu Ligan thought for a while, shook his head, and said, it's better not to do it. This is not good. No matter what problems I encounter, I want to complete this project. Okay, pretend I didn't say it, Zheng Wei said with a smile, actually, I know you will refuse. This is why Sun Ho and our president trust you so much. You are a person who has a beginning and an end. Lu Ligan laughed and said, you don't know me very well, how do you know what kind of person I am? We know you better than you think. Zheng Wei looked at Lu Ligan and smiled enigmatically. Lu Ligan looked at Zheng Wei and said, no, you seem to have something in your words. What do you mean? Certainly. Zheng Wei smiled and shook his head, and his short hair swept across Lu Ligan's cheek. Come and tell me. Zheng Wei thought for a while and said to Lu Ligan, don't forget that we are a financial institution. Risk control and due diligence are our basic homework. Do you think we just want you to be friends with Li Yong and Chen Qiang, and they are Sun Yat-sen's friends, for the sake of Monkey's classmates, do I invite you to be a partner? Isn't it? Of course not all of them, although they are also factors to consider and one of your main items. What else? When Sun Ho and the others came to Haikan, there was another person from our team who came to Haikan. You haven't seen it? They went to the talent information news to learn about you and knew that many units wanted to poach you, so you didn't leave. The reason is that your director thinks highly of you. There's this trick, Luligan shouted. No wonder, it turned out that the director had known about this for a long time. Of course, tens of millions of real money will be handed over to you. If you use your brain wrongly, can Huang Jianren control it? Okay, it's reasonable, dear. Fortunately, I didn't offend our director. Otherwise, if he was talking nonsense, would I be doomed? That's not the case. We will also judge why he said that and consider all aspects of information. Information on all aspects. Zheng Wei smiled softly. She looked at Lu Ligan and said, Yongcheng is very nice, with beautiful scenery, especially at night. The small wontons and spinach and egg dumplings on the road next to Yongcheng department store are delicious. Lu Ligan was shocked. Have you been to Yongcheng? Yes, I have also been to your troupe. Your troupe is really bad. Lu Ligan looked at Zheng Wei blankly, and Zheng Wei continued to smile. I am one of the people sent by the industry to Yongcheng Wu Opera Troupe to get to know you. After it was over, Lu Ligan said, you must have heard a lot of bad things, right? Really? Are you so popular in the group? Zheng Wei said, but why did I hear only good things about you and Zhang Chen? They praised you to the sky, which made me think at that time, let's see who these two are. Lu Li was stunned and asked, where did you go and who did you meet? Of course we went to your group leader's office. A deputy group leader named Feng received us, and we also met a teacher Li. They all said a lot of good things about you. Zhang Chen went to many units for several days in a row, but couldn't find a job. It wasn't that he didn't find one, but he found one, but he was still hesitant about whether to go. Zhang Chen felt like he was back to the scene when he first arrived in Haikan. He was very anxious and thought, no matter what kind of job it is, he should find a stable one first. The job he found was from the Jianzhong Evening News. When he went there, people were willing to take him. This job was a handyman in a garment factory. The job content was to work in the cutting room of the garment factory. Work there. Bundles of fabrics are unloaded from warehouses or trucks into the cutting room. Layer by layer, the fabrics are spread flat on a 5 to 6 meter long cutting bed and folded into a thick pile. Waiting for the cutting master to use electric cutting. After cutting with scissors, the stacks of cut pieces are tied up with strips of cloth and distributed. Then the corners of the fabric in the cutting room are cleaned up, and then the second board is cut. Of course there is no problem with this job. Zhang Chen can do it. What makes him hesitate is that they have to live in the factory because the factory has to work overtime until 2 or 3 o'clock almost every day. They also have to continuously provide cutting pieces to the sewing workshop. Once you stop here, the sewing workshop will inevitably stop. Sometimes the workers in the sewing workshop get off work, and they can't get off work yet. They have to prepare the cutting pieces needed for the next day. Otherwise, when the workers get up, they will have no work to do. They can only do it between work or while waiting for fabrics. Fall on the woven bags containing scrap fabrics in the cutting room, take a nap, or go back to the dormitory upstairs in the workshop, squint for a while, and have to come down when he screams. It was the necessity of living in the factory that prevented Zhang Chen from taking the job on the spot. He was reluctant to leave Xiaozhou, and Xiaozhou would not agree. Zhang Chen saw the advertisements of the clothing factories in the evening newspaper. Among the long list of work types, almost everyone had handymen. He thought that the content of the work should be similar. This job seemed not to be difficult to find. He decided try for a few more days. If you really can't find any other job, then go work as a handyman in a garment factory. Xiao Zhao had the morning shift today. Zhang Chen told her in advance that he was free at noon. In fact, he was free all day, but he could only tell Xiao Zhao this. Xiao Zhao still wanted to eat some Sichuan. Zhang Chen, I went to that noodle shop in the morning and bought some pianurchuan, and then went to the Red Flag Hotel. As soon as Xiao Zhao saw Zhang Chen come in, he told him that there was a woman named Chu in front of him who called and said that he would go to her place immediately when he asked you to arrive. Zhang Chen knew it was Chu Tianlin as soon as he heard it. He put down the noodles and was about to leave. Xiao Zhao shouted, "Oh, let's go after lunch. If you go now, others are eating lunch too." Zhang Chen laughed when he heard it made sense. The two of them sat down to eat noodles. Xiao Zhao asked Zhang Chen, "Who is this Chu? Are you so excited when you hear it?" Zhang Chen quickly said, "Don't think too much. It's an older sister I met when I was looking for a job. She must be looking for me for something good." "Am I thinking wildly?" Xiao Zhao chuckled, "or do you have some evil intentions?" "Okay, you didn't have any wild thoughts, and I didn't have any evil intentions," Zhang Chen said quickly. Zhang Chen ate the noodles in a hurry, thinking that there must be something good about Chu Tianlin coming to him, otherwise she wouldn't call, but Zhang Chen couldn't think of what good thing it was, so he could only shake his head. "Why are you shaking your head?" Xiao Zhao asked. "There is nothing. Why do I think you are absent-minded?" Zhang Chen looked at Xiao Zhao and said honestly, "Yes, I was thinking about what would happen if Sister Chu came to me." What he didn't tell Xiao Zhao was that he had been unemployed for a long time and had not found a job for a long time. Now, he was in urgent need of a job. Maybe Sister Chu wanted to provide him with a job. Seeing Zhang Chen finish eating the noodles, Xiao Zhao said, "Go quickly, I see you are in such a hurry." Zhang Chen saw through Xiao Zhao and was too embarrassed to leave immediately. He said, "I'll sit there for a while." "Stop being pretentious. You are sitting here and your heart is not here. Hurry up and leave." Xiao Zhao urged. Zhang Chen stood up and said to Xiao Zhao, "Then I'm leaving." Xiao Zhao nodded. Xiao Zhao sat there, staring blankly at Zhang Chen pushing his bicycle out in a hurry. She felt a little disappointed. She wondered what kind of woman it was. Zhang Chen was so excited when he heard her call. Although he didn't say it, Xiao Zhao had to admit that he was a little jealous. "Humph, what does this mean? As long as you are a woman, who would be happy to have other women calling to find your boyfriend? Who would be happy to see their boyfriend and be so excited when they hear other women calling him?" Xiao Zhao even felt that underneath Zhang Chen's surface excitement, there was something else she didn't know. Xiao Zhao sighed. She took off her watch and stared at the Zhang Chen watch below. She was in a daze for a while. It wasn't until someone came in from the door, walked to the window and asked her if she still had a room that Xiao Zhao came to her senses. When Xiao Zhao saw the person staring at her wrist, she couldn't help but blush, and quickly put the watch back on. She thought, she must be wondering why such a big person still acts like a child and wants to wear it on her hand. "Draw a watch." "Humph, I want you to take care of it." "How many people are there?" Xiao Zhao asked the visitor. "The Pentium era, south to north." Author, Mei Niang. Chapter 454. Zhang Chen pedaled the bicycle fiercely all the way. The cover of the bicycle bell was stolen. He pressed the handle of the bicycle bell and made a clicking sound. Zhang Chen could only keep shouting, "Give up, give up. Jean, I'm sorry Jean." He hurried to Hangcheng building, took the elevator upstairs, and arrived at Chu Tianlin's company. The door was open. Zhang Chen walked in but didn't see the little girl. When he walked to the back room, he saw the little girl and Chu Tianlin. Two people were sitting across from each other, eating noodles. Zhang Chen clicked twice on the open door. Chu Tianlin turned around and saw him. She still had noodles in her mouth and said vaguely, "You're here." Zhang Chen quickly said, "Hello, Sister Tianlin, you eat slowly, I will sit outside for a while." Chu Tianlin raised the hand holding the chopsticks and shook it twice, swallowed the noodles in her mouth, and said to the little girl opposite, Go outside. Then he said to Zhang Chen, come here, I'll tell you while I'm eating. It's empty now, but soon there will be people here again. The little girl picked up the noodles and walked over, smiled at Zhang Chen, and walked outside. Zhang Chen sat down at the seat where she had just sat. While eating noodles, Chu Tianlin said to Zhang Chen, well, there is a printing and dyeing company in Qiqiao. They want to print a picture album for the Canton Fair. They haven't found a designer yet, so I recommended you. Originally, our Shenzhen factory could help him with the design, but I thought it would be too troublesome and time-consuming to send the design draft back and forth for confirmation. They are still in a hurry for this job, so I thought of letting you take over the job. Zhang Chen felt happy, it was indeed a good thing, and he quickly said, thank you, Sister Tianlin. Have you ever designed a picture album before? Chu Tianlin asked. Zhang Chen said honestly no. It's not difficult at all. As for design, it's pretty much the same. Just master a few key points and rules. The key lies in the designer's vision and ability. Where the vision is there, the design things will not be wrong, don't you think? Zhang Chen nodded. He felt that Chu Tianlin was right. There were thousands of designed paths, but they were all accessible. Chu Tianlin put the unfinished noodles on the side of the table, stood up, walked to the cabinet behind her, took out a few picture albums, opened them in front of Zhang Chen, and introduced some of the simplest printing methods from opening to printing. Terminology, and then talked to him about the things that need to be paid attention to when designing a picture album and selecting pictures. Zhang Chen quickly understood. Do you have time in the afternoon? Chu Tianlin asked. Zhang Chen said yes. You haven't found a job yet. I found it. I didn't work for a month and lost it again, Zhang Chen said embarrassedly. What's going on? Chu Tianlin asked. Zhang Chen probably told Chu Tianlin about the secret cellar. Chu Tianlin first said it was a pity and that it would be great if this place was built. She looked at Zhang Chen and said, you are also unlucky to be involved in such a mess. Hangzhou is still different from the special economic zone. Do you feel a little uncomfortable? Zhang Chen agreed, a bit. In Hainan, I feel that everyone cares more about performance. If you perform well, no one else will blame you. Even the boss will try to curry favor with you. Here, everyone spends their energy on such personal grudges and intrigues. That's right. I didn't get used to it when I first came back. I'll get better gradually. This person is a very strange animal. His ability to adapt to the environment is too strong. Hey, regardless of this, you can go to Qiqiao in the afternoon and go directly to sign contract, get the information, okay? Zhang Chen said yes. I've also negotiated the fee for you, 1,000 yuan. So much? It's not much. This is the price in Hangzhou. If it's more expensive in Shenzhen, our factory will have to design it for them. The design fee is 3,000, so if they counter offer, you just insist on it. Do you understand? Zhang Chen nodded and said yes. Chu Tianlin collected the picture albums, handed them to Zhang Chen, and said to him, you can bring these with you for reference when designing. Also, you can show them to them and let them choose what form they want to use. Just say, these are all designed by you. If they have other requirements, you can let me tell you directly, do you understand? Zhang Chen was embarrassed and said, this. Chu Tianlin looked at him and said with a smile, why, are you embarrassed to brag? Zhang Chen said yes. What should we do? Tell them that you have never designed a picture album before, and this is your first time. Zhang Chen looked at Chu Tianlin and didn't know how to answer. He felt that it was inappropriate to say such things to customers, as it was like courting death. Chu Tianlin sighed softly and cursed, you are still honest. When Chu Tianlin scolded like this, there was a kind of intimacy in his tone, which made Zhang Chen think of Zhou Yaqiang and felt warm in his heart. I know your ability, and I know that you will have no problem doing this job, but people don't know. When people spend so much money, they must feel that the money is well spent. This is to give people a little confidence, not necessarily you're lying to others, do you understand? To say it's a lie, it's also a white lie, just to make things smooth and smooth, do you understand? Chu Tianlin said, a little anxious. It seemed that if Zhang Chen could not receive the order smoothly, she would be more anxious than Zhang Chen. Zhang Chen couldn't help but laugh. He said, okay, I understand, thank you Sister Tianlin. Chu Tianlin let out a long breath and said, this is the right time, get some enlightenment. After she finished speaking, she picked up the phone on the table and dialed. When the call was connected, Chu Tianlin said into the phone. Mr. Ni, I'm Chu Tianlin, hello, hello. If the designer I told you can spare some time this afternoon, I'll ask him to come over. By the way, you ask Director Li to cooperate with me and move quickly. Try to finish it in the afternoon and don't make people have to make another trip. They are very busy, so it is not cost-effective to always go to Qiqiao for such a small job. Zhang Chen was listening on the side and almost laughed. He was wandering around all day, an unemployed person, so busy. Chu Tianlin made him look like a big shot. Chu Tianlin saw Zhang Chen suppressing a smile and knew what he was thinking. She glared at him. Zhang Chen quickly sat up straight and straightened his expression. Chu Tianlin laughed to herself. She spoke to the phone again, her voice a little squeaky, Mr. Ni, this designer is my younger brother. He is not very good at talking. As you know, not all art people are like this. You can't bully him, or I'll settle the score with you. Of course. I will definitely keep an eye on it for you. Don't worry. If you don't do it well, it will be my face, right? Okay, let's not talk about it. I'll ask him to come directly to you in the afternoon. Are you all in the company? Okay, that's it. Chu Tianlin hung up the phone, picked up a pen and paper, and wrote the name and address of the company and Mr. Ni's name and phone number. Chu Tianlin said while writing, do you think I'm bragging on your behalf again? Before Zhang Chen spoke, Chu Tianlin continued, I have read your works and know that you have this ability, otherwise I would not dare to recommend you. Also, you are just out of work for the time being, and you have this ability, it's not lost, don't look down on yourself, do you understand? Zhang Chen nodded and said, I understand, thank you Sister Tianlin. You call me sister, and she will tell you that we are just a fish trapped in the shallows now. There is nothing to be ashamed of. Straighten your back, and I will watch you leap over the dragon's gate. Okay, thank you Sister Tianlin, I will try my best Zhang Chen said, feeling a little choked in his throat. After Chu Tianlin finished writing, he folded the paper in half, handed it to Zhang Chen, and said to him, go to the South bus station and take a bus. There are many buses there that go directly to Qiqiao. They can also go to Shaoxing, Shangyu, Zheji, Ningbo and so on. They all pass through Qiqiao. Zhang Chen said yes. By the way, their pictures were all taken by their office director, Director Li. He is a photography enthusiast and his level is not bad. Remember, no matter whether the pictures he provides do not meet your requirements, let him. He will take you around the company and take another roll of photos according to your request, using positive film, he knows. By the way, I forgot to tell you, this positive film is also called a reversal film. We use this for printing. Zhang Chen still didn't understand a little and couldn't help but ask, Sister Tianlin, why does he have to take another picture if the picture does not meet the requirements? Chu Tianlin said, taking photos is his specialty, but don't forget that you are the expert when it comes to designing albums. How can you have no requirements at all and use whatever they give you? Do you understand? Zhang Chen said he understood, he really understood, he just wanted him to pretend to be a veteran and suppress the opponent in terms of momentum. Zhang Chen said goodbye to Chu Tianlin, rode his bicycle to the South Bus Station, parked the bicycle in the parking lot of the station, and bought a ticket for the latest trip to Qiqiao. Hangzhou is very close to Qiqiao, 50 kilometers away, and can be reached in more than an hour. Thank you Qian Dad for your monthly ticket. Thank you for every recommendation, vote and reading. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 455. Zhang Chen arrived at Qiqiao, got off the car, and asked two people. It seemed that this printing and dyeing company was very famous in the local area. Everyone Zhang Chen asked knew where it was. Zhang Chen found it with almost no effort. Walking to the gate of its factory, Zhang Chen was also frightened. This company is very large. It is said to be a printing and dyeing company. In fact, they even weave the cloth themselves. The factory covers an area of several hundred acres. There are brand new and modern factory buildings. Inside the factory area, steam pipes shuttle, connecting each factory building together. What made Zhang Chen even more shocked was that on his way here, he found that there were 2 or 3 companies of similar size nearby. If he hadn't come here today, he would have never known that Qiqiao has developed to this extent. Although he had long known that Qiqiao was the distribution center for cloth and fabrics in the country, didn't Mr. Xie tell him and Lu Ligan that he made a fortune by bringing cartloads of fabrics from Qiqiao back to Liaoyang for wholesale? Zhang Chen immediately had a picture album in his mind. When he opened the first page, it must be a bird's eye view of the factory across 2 pages, showing the company's strength and scale. This is more shocking and more powerful than any words. Persuasive. Zhang Chen met Mr. Ni and everything went smoothly. He signed the contract. Mr. Ni asked Zhang Chen almost nothing. In Mr. Ni's words, Chu Tianlin was reliable and the person she introduced must be right. Director Li took Zhang Chen around the factory and took a lot of photos at Zhang Chen's request. This was not just pretending, but Zhang Chen really felt that he needed to feel the atmosphere of the entire company and the lively atmosphere of the workers. Motivation. Zhang Chen has already communicated with Mr. Ni. He feels that the customers who come to the Canton Fair are professionals. It is meaningless to let them know how a piece of cloth is made from polyester yarn, nylon yarn, and then printed and dyed. For them, perhaps more importantly, they want to understand who and how they work to bring them a colorful world. Mr. Ni appreciated Zhang Chen's idea very much, and especially liked the word flower world that Zhang Chen said. He said, "Haha, we are really a flower world." I don't know, flower world is still a good word. After finishing everything, Mr. Ni wanted to invite Zhang Chen to dinner. Zhang Chen quickly declined. He didn't dare to stay too long. Now that everything was going well, he didn't want to make any more trouble. The longer the contact lasted, maybe he would unintentionally reveal it at some point. You know, for a person who can do such a big business, don't be fooled by the kindness he shows. Zhang Chen couldn't say anything. Thank you Mr. Ni, he had to rush back to Hangzhou to make an appointment with a client. Mr. Ni said yes, then I won't force you to stay. He asked his driver to drive Zhang Chen back. When the car arrived at Kaiyudao Road, Zhang Chen was too embarrassed to ask the driver to take him to Sanbao's home or the South Bus Station parking lot. This didn't seem like a place to meet clients. After thinking about it, Zhang Chen said to the driver, "Excuse me, send me to the friendly hotel." Zhang Chen got off the car at the gate of Yuhao Hotel and walked towards the elevator. Pretending to go upstairs, he walked to the elevator entrance and stood as if waiting for the elevator. He glanced secretly outside the gate. Seeing Mr. Ni's car still parked at the gate, I suddenly became nervous. Damn it, it looked like he was following me. Zhang Chen had no choice but to go to the 5th floor, which is where the office building of Yuyi Hotel is located. Zhang Chen stood in the elevator room and waited for a while. He saw one of the 3 elevators coming up from the first floor and stopped on the 5th floor. Zhang Chen was startled. He wondered if the driver had followed him upstairs. He quickly walked into the corridor and walked towards room 515. If he couldn't, he could only walk into the office of Shakaku Pictures and see Harada Shino. Zhang Chen walked to the door of room 515 and sighed in his heart. The door of 515 was closed. Zhang Chen was about to reach out and knock on the door. There was a call from behind him. Here comes a voice. Zhang Chen, I'm here. Zhang Chen turned around and realized that the driver who had just come up was not the driver, but Harada Shino. He also recognized him. Zhang Chen was not only relieved. What Zhang Chen didn't know was that Mr. Ni's driver was already on his way back to Kikiao. He parked the car at the gate just to run into the bathroom and urinate. Zhang Chen lied that he was passing by here, so he came up to take a look. He chatted with Shino Harada for a while, then left, took 2 buses to the South Bus Station, and rode his bicycle home. It was already dark. When Zhang Chen rode to the penultimate street light from his home, he raised his hand and waved. When he turned from the intersection in front of him, he saw that the lights at home were on and a man stood in the corridor at the door. Black shadow, he knew it was Xiao Zhao waiting for him to go home. When Zhang Chen returned home, the 2 of them sat down to eat. Xiao Zhao asked, "Did you go to the eldest sister named Chu and stay there all afternoon?" When Xiao Zhao spoke, there was a cautiousness in his voice that he was trying to control, and Zhang Chen understood it. "No, I'm going to Kikiao." "Keiqiao? Where is Keiqiao?" "Shaoxing, 50 kilometers away from Hangzhou." "Honey, what are you doing there?" Zhang Chen thought for a while, and decided to tell Xiao Zhao everything exactly so that she wouldn't have to think about it. Anyway, he has a life now. Starting from tomorrow, he will work at home. He can't go out early and come back late every day, pretending go out to work by yourself. Zhang Chen told Xiao Zhao about Boss Lu. Xiao Zhao was very sad after hearing this. She said that Boss Lu was so pitiful. Zhang Chen felt the same after hearing this. Compared with Boss Lu, he really was nothing. What he lost was just a job, which Boss Lu didn't have. However, after more than a year of hard work, he met a few bad guys. "People. My dear, you don't have a job anymore, where do you go every day?" Zhang Chen said that he found a job and went to the West Lake to paint, but he still did not tell Xiao Zhao about his painting job being taken away by those students from the Academy of Fine Arts. He thought this was too miserable, so he just told Xiao Zhao the matter of Zhaoqu and Wang Huai. "You no longer have a job, why didn't you tell me, dear?" As soon as Xiao Zhao said this, he understood. Zhang Chen didn't tell him because he still didn't want to worry himself. Xiao Zhao couldn't help but hug Zhang Chen and said to him, "No, dear, don't do this again in the future, okay? Didn't we promise to tell each other everything? No, no matter what happens, whatever happens, let's face it together, okay?" Zhang Chen nodded and said yes. He said, "So when Sister Chu Tianlin called me at noon, I ran over immediately. She was as I thought and introduced me to a job, so I ran to Kikiao." Zhang Chen then told Xiao Zhao what Chu Tianlin told him and what kind of job this job was like. Xiao Zhao nodded and said, "How come Sister Chu is so good?" Zhang Chen said yes, it was also fate. My eldest sister probably went to Shenzhen that year and got her start in the same way. So when she saw me like this, she felt the same way and felt that I could help. There are many bad people in this world, and there are also some. We have met many good and bad people, and we have also met good people. Yes, yes, I think Sister Gihua is also very good, Xiao Zhao exclaimed. Also, Brother Hagen, his wife, including my mother-in-law, and their whole family are very good. This is good, but it is probably contagious. Well, dear, let's try to be nice to others in the future. If we become good people, will our babies also become good people? Okay, I promise you, Zhang Chen said and laughed again. Our baby, where is our baby? Xiao Zhao put her hands on her belly and looked at Zhang Chen laughing. Zhang Chen was puzzled by her laughter. After a while, he understood and shouted. What, you mean? Xiao Zhao nodded. Zhang Chen hugged Xiao Zhao and asked, really? Xiao Zhao said and said, when Sister Gihua came in the afternoon, I was vomiting. I thought I had eaten something bad, but Sister Gihua thought that she asked me to go to the side if she was pregnant. I went to the hospital for a checkup and found out that little Zhang Chen was here. Zhang Chen laughed loudly. This guy really came here uninvited. How long has it been? The doctor said it will be about a month. Zhang Chen did the math, opened his eyes wide, and shouted, so, is it the time in the boiler room? How do I know? You are always doing something. Haha, it was that time, it must be that time, I liked that time. Why? The worse the environment when you are conceived, the more powerful the child will be in the future. Do you know where Jesus was conceived? In the stable, we were in the boiler room, on the coal pile. In the future, I can be with us. My son is bragging, your parents took you out on the coal pile, let's see, are your parents awesome? Zhang Chen was dancing and talking while Xiao Zhao was watching and giggling. She put her hand on her belly and touched it slowly, as if there must really be a son inside, and I am talking to my son. Look, son, look at your stinky father. Thank you Tiger for your monthly pass. Thank you for every recommendation, vote and reading. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 456. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao went to bed. Xiao Zhao touched Zhang Chen's face and said to him, what should I do, poor baby? The doctor said that you can't touch the baby within 3 months. Zhang Chen said it was okay, and he could only endure it for the sake of the youngest baby. But when I hugged Xiao Zhao, it was still unbearable. He said, how about we share the quilt? No, I don't want it, Xiao Zhao shouted. Zhang Chen could only give up. The two of them still slept in the same bed and slept together. Zhang Chen couldn't help but hug Xiao Zhao. Xiao Zhao was already used to Zhang Chen hugging him to sleep. When the two of them hugged each other, not only Zhang Chen couldn't help it, but Xiao Zhao couldn't help it either. She was so angry that she sat up, looked at her belly and said, if this guy doesn't obey in the future, I will beat him hard. For how much torture he, his parents, endured. Zhang Chen burst out laughing, and Xiao Zhao turned around to look at him and cursed, why, isn't it? Are you having a good time? Yes, come in, don't catch a cold. Zhang Chen pulled Xiao Zhao into the bed. After joking for a while, the two of them felt less uncomfortable. Xiao Zhao was worried again. She asked Zhang Chen, honey, what should I do? Zhang Chen was confused by her question and asked, what should I do? We are not married yet. What's the point? Zhang Chen said, marriage is just a piece of paper. We are both together. Do you still care about that piece of paper? When Zhang Chen was talking, he thought of Chen Qiang and Lin Yiyan. Their baby should have been born. We will wait until our son grows up before holding a wedding and let our son host it, Zhang Chen said with a smile. I didn't say this, it was Qiang who said it. They didn't register either. Yes, just like us, the little guy came here in a hurry. Xiao Zhao breathed a sigh of relief, as if she had found an ally, and she felt relieved. She said, it's really nothing if you think about it. Tell me, if your parents knew, wouldn't they be very happy? My parents know, I will definitely be very happy, but it's a pity that they haven't seen you yet. It doesn't matter, then let's go back to our parents' house to see them, just like the song says, with a chicken in the left hand, a duck in the right hand, and a fat baby on the back. Xiao Zhao said The next day, Xiao Zhao still worked the morning shift. As soon as she got up, Zhang Chen got up immediately. Xiao Zhao asked him what he was doing, and Zhang Chen said he was sending you off. Why give it to me? Aren't I going to ride it every day? It's different. Yesterday you were a little girl, and today you are a mother. How is it different? Zhang Chen said, besides, if you go alone, I won't feel at ease at home. I might as well send you away, come back again. Xiao Zhao thought it made sense, so he had no choice but to let him. Xiao Zhao took the wash basin and was about to go downstairs. Zhang Chen stopped her and took the wash basin from her hand. He made sure to go down and fetch the water himself and let Xiao Zhao wash in the room. Xiao Zhao smiled and had no choice but to go downstairs. The two of them finished their breakfast and Xiao Zhao was about to wash the dishes. Zhang Chen snatched them away and told him to go wash them. He asked Xiao Zhao to sit down and Xiao Zhao let him. Seeing Zhang Chen walking around in a hurry, Xiao Zhao felt sweet in his heart. Before going out, Zhang Chen drew a Zhang Chen watch for Xiao Zhao, and told Xiao Zhao that I would draw 2 o'clock and 10. Remember, I must go home at this time. Xiao Zhao agreed. In March, the weather has warmed up. The two of them pushed their bicycles out of the courtyard. It was just dawn and everything was quiet. Listening carefully, you can seem to hear the sounds of vegetables growing hard in the vegetable field next to them. Kai sing sound. When the wind blows over, it carries with it the freshness of the land that has just been dug up. Some villagers were already working in the surrounding vegetable fields, and their occasional greetings or coughs could be heard far away. Zhang Chen saw that it was still early, so the two of them simply pushed the bicycles and decided to start riding when they reached Hanghai Road outside. When they passed a vegetable field, there was an ant in her 50s standing in the vegetable field on the side of the road, looking at them. When they passed in front of her, she walked out of the vegetable field and walked to the edge of the field. Come towards them. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao walked in front, and she kept following them. Xiao Zhao looked back and whispered to Zhang Chen, that ant has been following us. Zhang Chen also looked back and said to Xiao Zhao, don't be afraid, she is an ant, she is not Mei Chaofeng. Who is Mei Chaofeng? Xiao Zhao asked. Zhang Chen smiled, knowing that she had never watched The Legend of the Condor Heroes. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao said, I will talk to you when I come back in the afternoon. Xiao Zhao said yes. The two people pushed the bicycles to Hanghai Road. The ant also followed to Hanghai Road. She didn't go back until the two of them got on the bicycles. Zhang Chen sent Xiao Zhao to the Hunky Hotel. On his way back, when he passed a roadside public telephone booth, he couldn't help but call Lu Ligan and told him the news. Hum. Lu Ligan cursed 3 times in a row. Zhang Chen scolded, you, it wasn't you, it was me. Okay, you do it yourself, take all the credit, and work hard, that's great. Lu Ligan laughed loudly, it's settled, I am the godfather, no one can compete with me. Okay godfather, no one will compete with you, hurry up and prepare a name for your son, Zhang Chen said. How did you know he was a son? I like daughters. I feel like he is my son. Okay, then the name is already there. If it is a daughter, it belongs to me, and she will be called Xiongnan, Zhang Xiongnan. If it is a son, it belongs to you, and I will call him Xiangbei, and Zhang Xiangbei. Wasn't she conceived on your way north? It's memorable. Zhang Chen read Zhang Xiangbei in his mind. He also thought the name was good, so he agreed and that was it. Haha, I must celebrate tonight, becoming a father. Lu Ligan smiled, he was really happier than having a child, so he hung up the phone. A beeping sound came from the card phone. Zhang Chen stood there still holding the phone, smiling. Lu Ligan's excitement also infected him. He had a son, and he felt that everything had settled. I seem to have roots in this world, taking root deeply and deeply. Zhang Chen hung up the phone back on the base, and he immediately remembered that he should call Mr. Tan. When he arrived in Hangzhou, he never called Mr. Tan because he felt that he had not settled down yet and had no good news to tell his elder brother. Also, he left Haikan suddenly, and the entire landscape design of Lonkan North Road it became an unfinished project and was left to Mr. Tan to deal with. He has always been worried about it and was a little embarrassed to face it. But now that I have a child, if I don't tell my eldest brother about such a big thing, my eldest brother will scold me if he knows. Zhang Chen dialed Mr. Tan's number. Sure enough, as soon as the call came through, Mr. Tan started to curse. Where have you been? Why didn't you call me to say you're safe? If Xiao Lu hadn't told me that day, I didn't know you were in Hangzhou, would you still have me as your big brother in your humming eyes? Zhang Chen quickly said he was sorry to his eldest brother. I felt that he had not settled down yet and was embarrassed to call his eldest brother. I'm your eldest brother, what are you embarrassed about? If something happens to you, wouldn't eldest brother help you out? Yes, brother is scolding me because it's my fault. Mr. Tan slowed down his tone and asked, why, are you settling down now? What are you doing? I just took on a design job. It's not a big job. I'm designing a picture album. That's good. Take your time, don't rush. Well, I understand, brother. I called him today to tell him that Xiao Zhao is pregnant. What? Xiao Zhao is pregnant. Haha, Xiao Zhao is pregnant. So I'm an uncle? That's great, Mr. Tan said with a smile. By the way, Xiao Zhao needs nutrition when she's pregnant. Tell me your address quickly and I'll send you money. No, 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 Big Brother Zhang Chen hurriedly told Mr. Tan, we haven't used any of the money Big Brother gave us last time. We are not short of money. Okay, remember, call me if you need anything. Got it? If you starve Xiao Zhao to the point of becoming emaciated, I won't take care of you. Okay, thank you, brother. After hanging up Mr. Tan's call, Zhang Chen wanted to call home, but gave up after thinking about it. He missed his parents. If they knew that Xiao Zhao was pregnant, they would immediately run to Hangzhou without saying anything. He wants to take them back to his home in Yongcheng, and he will not let them stay in Hangcheng. That would be really troublesome. Zhang Chen decided not to tell them yet. Zhang Chen returned home and started working. While he was working, he thought of his son. He couldn't help but take a piece of paper and imagined what his son would look like in the future. He drew it on the paper. After drawing, he continued working. After having a son, it seems that his work efficiency is also very high, and he himself is very satisfied. However, he was always dissatisfied with the son drawn on the paper. After a while, he looked at it again and had new ideas. He had to draw a new picture. Once he finished it, he smiled silly for a while and then put it away. I went to the previous one and drew another one after a while. Before I knew it, I had drawn more than a dozen pictures. He looked at the pile of paper on the table and thought that his son was like a bunch of grapes, innumerable. Do I really have so many sons? Zhang Chen he smiled. Thank you a Daypen for your monthly ticket. Thank you for all your recommendation votes and reading. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Niang. Chapter 457. When they were about to get off work in the afternoon, Zhang Chen and Sister Gihua walked in almost at the same time. Xiao Zhao asked strangely, why are you here? Come to pick you up from get off work, Zhang Chen said. Didn't you agree that I would go back by myself? Zhang Chen looked at Sister Gihua, smiled and said nothing. Sister Gihwa looked at the two of them and said, "This little father, don't you trust this little mother?" Xiao Zhao blushed, and Zhang Chen smiled shyly. Sister Gihwa said to them, "But don't be so nervous. The days are long. It's not a big deal to be pregnant and have a baby. When I gave birth to mine, I was cutting vegetables in the field the day before. When I got to the hospital, I just gurgled. After I gave birth, Hagen even laughed at me. Giving birth to a son was like a hen laying an egg. I'm in the same ward, and the delicate one refuses to move. When they get to the hospital, they become difficult patients. Don't worry, it's okay if you move a lot, don't be afraid." "Can I ride a bicycle?" Zhang Chen asked. "What day will I not ride?" At that time, I had to deliver vegetables to the vegetable market every day. My mother-in-law was selling them. Behind the bicycle were big and small baskets. People are like this. Take a rest when you feel tired. Don't hold on. This is no different than usual. If people are not tired, then they can do whatever they want, it's fine. You still deliver food? What about Brother Hagen? Zhang Chen asked. He rides a tricycle before dawn to deliver vegetables to the Sanliting farmers' wholesale market. Aren't the prices of vegetables in this market higher than those in the wholesale market? My mother-in-law and I can't bear to do it. We have to go to the market every day to sell some. Zhang Chen understood and quickly said, "Yes, thank you, Sister Gihua." The two of them rode across the Qingtai overpass and bought vegetables at the market. When they got home, they took the vegetables to the pool in the yard. Zhang Chen refused to let Xiao Zhao wash the vegetables. Xiao Zhao said, "This little order of vegetables is nothing. I will mop the food in the morning. I don't know how much I've washed and what I have. Come up quickly and do your work. Do this and that. You don't have time to design your picture album. Go ahead and go." Xiao Zhao pushed Zhang Chen upstairs. Zhang Chen had no choice but to go upstairs and continue working on his own. Xiao Zhao washed the dishes and brought them out. One of them was preparing dinner, and the other was immersed in painting. Xiao Zhao came over, saw the pile of paintings on the table, and shouted, "What is this? Our son, if you decide which one you like, we will stick him in the bed. If you look at him every day, you will definitely look like him when you are born." Xiao Zhao was overjoyed. She picked and compared again and again, and finally chose 3. She couldn't make up her mind, so she asked Zhang Chen, "Dear, I like all 3 of them, what should I do?" Zhang Chen thought for a while and said, "Let's post them all. These are our son number 1, son number 2, and son number 3. By the way, if you watch for a long time, will you give birth to triplets?" "What a beautiful idea," Xiao Zhao scolded. "Xiao Zhao." "Zhang Chen." The landlord called downstairs, and Xiao Zhao hurriedly walked out. She was stunned for a moment. She saw the ant who had been following them in the morning, standing next to the landlord. The landlord saw Xiao Zhao and waved to her. "Xiao Zhao, you and Zhang Chen come down, I have something to tell you." Xiao Zhao said yes. Xiao Zhao returned to the room and told Zhang Chen that the ant came here this morning and the landlord asked us to go down. Zhang Chen was also surprised and thought, what could be wrong with this man, and he is still so persistent. He stood up full of doubts and went downstairs with Xiao Zhao. When they arrived downstairs, the landlord let them into the front of the hall. The ant kept staring at Xiao Zhao. After the 4 of them sat down, the landlord introduced that this was Sister Huang, the women's director of our village. Zhang Chen quickly said hello to Sister Huang. Sister Huang looked at Xiao Zhao and asked, "Are you pregnant?" Xiao Zhao looked at Zhang Chen, and the two nodded together. When I saw it, I said, "As soon as this woman passed in front of me, I would know if she was pregnant," Sister Huang said to the landlord brother. The landlord smiled and said, "So clever." "That's right, I sell eggs. As soon as the eggs pass through my hands, I know if they are bad. Those bad eggs just feel uncomfortable in my hands. Linga, Linga, Sister Huang is half fairy, the landlord said with a smile. Sister Huang didn't smile, she had a serious look on her face. She looked at Xiao Zhao and made Xiao Zhao feel scared. Are you married? Sister Huang asked. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao both shook their heads. Have you ever been married before? Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were confused by the question and even shook their heads. How old are you two? Show me your ID cards. Zhang Chen looked at the landlord, who nodded. Zhang Chen stood up and said, it's upstairs. I'll go get it. Zhang Chen ran upstairs, took two people's ID cards, came down, and handed them to Sister Huang. Sister Huang looked at them and said, oh, one is from Yongcheng, and you have an urban household registration? The other is from Sichuan, and you are from Sichuan. Agricultural household registration. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao both nodded. Have you ever had a baby before? Zhang Chen smiled and said, we are not married yet, how could we have children? Then the registration was not registered, so you are still pregnant, Sister Huang asked, and Zhang Chen was stunned by the question. The landlord brother was standing by and quickly explained, Sister Huang is in charge of family planning in our village. Sister Huang returned the ID card to Zhang Chen and breathed a long sigh of relief. She said, fortunately, fortunately. She turned back to the landlord and said, I was shocked. Neither Zhang Chen nor Xiao Zhao knew what she was referring to by being lucky, and they shocked her. Looking at the two of them again, the expression on Sister Huang's face relaxed. She said to them, I'm afraid that you came here to steal your life, and that would be troublesome. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao suddenly realized that no wonder she was keeping an eye on them. Sister Huang continued, I have seen your conditions. According to national regulations, you have reached the age for marriage and childbirth. There is only one formality missing. You must hurry up and complete the formalities. Otherwise, it will be very troublesome. In Hangzhou, no matter where you live outside the city, you will be investigated. When you get pregnant, it will be even more troublesome. The neighborhood committee where you work will check, where you live, and wherever you go. If you can't escape it, you will eventually give birth. It will be troublesome to go to the hospital without a birth certificate. The fine will also punish you to death. Young people, don't be careless. What procedures need to be completed? Zhang Chen asked. First, go to the place of residence of either of you to apply for a marriage certificate, and then use the marriage certificate to go to the local family planning office to apply for a birth certificate. Your conditions have met the birth policy, but you are pregnant out of wedlock, and you will still be fined. It's not much, just go find an acquaintance in the local area and pay a symbolic penalty. After you get these two, you will feel at ease. Come back and go to the maternal and child health station in Jianghan district to get the perinatal health care booklet. This is also good for you. You can go for a pregnancy test every month. You also need to get vaccinated against myelitis, polio, etc. This will also ensure that you can successfully give birth to a healthy baby. Sister Huang spoke in one breath. Zhang Chen was a little confused. He asked, my friends, they are pregnant and have given birth to children now. Why haven't you heard about this? Where is your friend? Hainan Island. Hainan Island, Hainan Island. Didn't you see that sketch, Supernatural Gorilla? All the superhumans went to Hainan Island. One year I almost went to Hainan Island to arrest people. Sister Huang continued, this place is different from other places. In Hangzhou, the control is very strict. You can't hold it back. In Zhejiang, it is the same everywhere. We have a one-vote veto system for family planning. Do you know which one? The place has become super scientific, and all leaders in any place will have their hats removed. Or, why don't you go back to Hainan Island and give it a try? Xiao Zhao quickly said, "Okay, Sister Huang, we know, we must hurry up and do it. It will be done sooner or later anyway." Hearing what Sister Huang said, both Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao understood that there was no way to escape. Besides, Sister Huang was right, it would be good for themselves and their children. Sister Huang smiled and said, "Yes, this is the correct attitude. You must hurry up, I will keep an eye on you. When will this be done?" "Sister Huang, he has a job now and can't leave right now." Xiao Zhao pointed at Zhang Chen and said to Sister Huang. "The sooner the better." Sister Huang said, "Turn around." She asked Xiao Zhao to turn around, with her back to the landlord and Zhang Chen. She rubbed her hands together to warm them up, and then put her hand into Xiao Zhao's crotch. Xiao Zhao's face turned red instantly. When she retracted her hand, Sister Huang asked Xiao Zhao, "Have you ever gone to the hospital for a checkup? It's been a month since you've been here." Xiao Zhao and Zhang Chen were shocked. How could her hand be so accurate? No wonder she said she could tell whether the eggs were good or bad as soon as they passed her hands. Xiao Zhao's belly is just that smooth egg in her hand, right? In this way, you go back and complete all these procedures before the end of April, okay? The first pregnancy test is when you are 3 months pregnant. Before that, you have to get the perinatal health care book. There is still more than a month left, so Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao should make an agreement quickly. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Niang. Chapter 458. After Sister Huang came, Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao realized that the marriage certificate and birth certificate were indispensable. Zhejiang is not Hainan, otherwise they would be unable to move when Xiao Zhao's belly grows. Sister Huang is also right. Regular check UPS are indeed good for their babies. This cannot be done carelessly. Who doesn't want their babies to be healthy? The result of the discussion between the two was that after Zhang Chen's work was finished, they would go to Sichuan. Their planned trip was to go back to Yongcheng first, get Zhang Chen's household registration book, and then go to Sichuan. In Sichuan, of course, Xiao Zhao wanted to take Zhang Chen to meet his parents, and more importantly, Xiao Zhao's uncle worked in the township and was the deputy township head. Didn't Sister Huang say that if you find an acquaintance, you can get a birth certificate with less fines? Xiao Zhao decided to go find his uncle. After the time and itinerary were set, Zhang Chen felt even more urgent. He worked until midnight every day before going to bed. Xiao Zhaoran sat on the bed and looked at Zhang Chen's back, feeling a little distressed, but also feeling very sweet. Xiao Zhao changed shifts every 3 days. Even when she went to night shift, Zhang Chen rushed her home after dropping her off. He worked until about 12 o'clock before going to the hunky hotel again. Xiao Zhao told him not to come. He refused and said that he would not be able to sleep. Xiao Zhao sighed. She felt that she was not the same. The first time he did this, Zhang Chen didn't know what he was doing. Unlike his decoration design, he was very familiar with all the building materials, and the effects they would produce after they were installed or used were all in Zhang Chen's mind. There is a clear picture, and the actual effect will be basically similar to what he imagined. When Zhang Chen designed it, he was very handy. Zhang Chen is not yet sure about this picture album. He has never experienced the process of turning his designs on paper into actual printed matter. He does not know how big the change will be. Therefore, Zhang Chen repeats every color block and every page. After careful consideration, many times it becomes difficult to choose. The entire design work exceeded Zhang Chen's expectations. It took him 5 days to complete the design of the entire album. He put all the manuscripts into the album and decided to send them to Chu Tianlin first to see what her opinions were, and then come back to revise them. Zhang Chen arrived at Chu Tianlin's company and walked in. The little girl outside smiled when she saw Zhang Chen, as if she knew what he was here for, and without saying a word, She nodded her head toward the room to signal him to come in. Jiang Chen walked to the open door and knocked on the door twice. Chu Tianlin looked up and saw him, and called, come in, you're done, so fast. Jiang Chen sat down opposite Chu Tianlin, opened the picture folder, and handed the design draft to Chu Tianlin with an anxious mood, saying, it's my first time doing this, and I don't know if I'm doing it right. Chu Tianlin stretched out her hand and waved it, and Jiang Chen stopped talking. Chu Tianlin looked at the design draft page by page with a serious expression on his face, and Jiang Chen's heart was pounding. After reading it, Chu Tianlin sighed, tidied up the design draft, looked at Jiang Chen and said, you have a very strong ability to understand. Even if we put this job in our Shenzhen factory, it would be impossible to design it better. I didn't expect that you would be able to do it to such a level the first time you did it. I saw you right. No need to modify it, Jiang Chen asked. No need, Chu Tianlin said, of course, my opinion only represents mine and does not represent Mr. Ni's and others, but I think they won't be able to propose anything. At most, they will see if the content needs to be adjusted. Then I'll send it over right away, Jiang Chen said. Why are you in a hurry? No rush, let me take a look. Chu Tianlin looked at the calendar on the table and said to Jiang Chen, you will send it over on the 12th in 3 days. Why? It's time, Chu Tianlin said with a smile. Jiang Chen looked at her and didn't understand. What was going on with this time tampering? Chu Tianlin asked, don't understand. Jiang Chen nodded. Chu Tianlin said, if you send it now, first of all, people will think that you are dealing with them and did not take the time to design it properly. So if it is done so quickly, people will not think that you acted quickly. Do you understand? Jiang Chen nodded. Also, if you send it here now, it's still early for the submission of the manuscript. From a human habit, because they have knots in their hearts, they just don't have any objections. In order to show their cleverness, they will find faults here and there. In fact, it's all a blind choice. You can send it over in 3 days, there is no time, they will take it and see if there is no problem, then they will send it to me, do you understand? Jiang Chen finally understood. Isn't this just like painting a scene by himself? If he finished it early, those people from the Cultural Affairs Bureau would always like to point when they came to the theater. In fact, they didn't understand anything, but they always wanted to show off of cleverness. There are also those dogs and cats who have to say a few words to anyone who comes to the practice room, so Jiang Chen deliberately dragged the scenery in front of him until it was needed the next day, and then worked overtime to put them away. Done without delaying the show or leaving time for these guys. Isn't this what Chu Tianlin asked herself to do now? Jiang Chen couldn't help but laugh. Chu Tianlin looked at him and smiled, do you really understand? I really understand, thank you Sister Tianlin. 3 days later, Jiang Chen went to Kikiao with the design draft. As Chu Tianlin expected, Mr. Ni was very satisfied after reading the design draft. He just asked which one of his own should be used when the chairman and general manager gave speeches. Photos are somewhat hesitant. It turned out that what Director Li provided to Jiang Chen was a photo of him wearing a suit and tie. Mr. Ni took out another photo of himself wearing work clothes and showed it to Jiang Chen, asking Jiang Chen to help as a staff officer. Jiang Chen thinks that the one wearing work clothes is better because they are a printing and dyeing company and an enterprise. Wearing work clothes is more consistent with the content of the entire album and makes people feel closer. Mr. Ni adopted Jiang Chen's opinion. Mr. Ni and Director Li said, take Xiao Zhang to the finance department quickly and pay the design fee. You can immediately send the design draft to Chu Tianlin and take Xiao Zhang back to Hangzhou. As expected, there was no time to think about other ideas, so this design draft was passed in one go. This made Jiang Chen admire Chu Tianlin. It seemed that it was no accident that she was able to do such a good job. Behind her soft voice, there was actually a delicate heart that was good at figuring out the psychology of her customers. What I touched is clear. This time, Zhang Chen justifiably asked the driver to take him to the South bus station, saying that his bicycle was parked there and he was going to ride. Zhang Chen got out of the car, met Director Li again, and looked at the time. Xiao Zhao was still at work at this time. Xiao Zhao told Sister Gihua about Sister Huan coming to see them. Sister Gihua shouted, "Oh, I'm confused too. How could I have forgotten this matter? It's true that your big belly was found. Our unit and I also, we all have to eat for a living, but luckily. Sister Gihua gave Xiao Zhao an idea and asked her to work 2 evening shifts plus an early morning shift. In this way, she would not need to ask for leave when going to Yongcheng. By concentrating all her holidays, they could use the exchange leave plus marriage leave when they return to Sichuan. In this way, there is no need to ask for leave, and the monthly perfect attendance award and quarterly award and annual award will not be less. You will know when you have a child, the money will be spent like running water. Sister Osman thus told them. Xiao Zhao is still at work, so Zhang Chen decided to go directly to the Hunky Hotel, pick up Xiao Zhao and go home. Zhang Chen arrived at the Red Flag Hotel and handed the envelope to Xiao Zhao. In the envelope was his design fee. Xiao Zhao was very happy and shouted, "This much, in just a few days, you have earned me several months' salary. It's too bad, fair enough." Xiao Zhao took the envelope and thought for a moment, then said, "Dear, I think you should go and thank Sister Chu." Zhang Chen nodded and said, "I was thinking about this too, but I couldn't think of how to thank her." Xiao Zhao took out 500 yuan from the envelope and put it into her wallet. She gave the envelope to Zhang Chen and said to him, "Just give this to her." Zhang Chen was startled and asked, "Is this suitable? What's inappropriate? If you can get this job, it's half of the credit of someone else." Xiao Zhao said, "If you remember someone like this, they will remember you, and they will introduce you to the job next time. You guys, it's considered a cooperative relationship. Since it's a cooperation, isn't it normal for one person to get half of it?" Zhang Chen thought about it and realized that what Xiao Zhao said made sense. It was true that Chu Tianlin helped him take this job. She helped negotiate the design fee. She even controlled the rhythm of the whole thing. She said she got half the credit, which was really missing. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Xiniang. Chapter 459. Zhang Chen arrived at Chu Tianlin's company. This time, there was someone in Chu Tianlin's office, and Zhang Chen was sitting outside, waiting. Just as a batch of goods arrived, Zhang Chen quickly stood up and helped the little girl put the goods against the wall and stack them neatly in bundles. The little girl wrote a note saying Tonglu Yalen Wonderland and posted it on the pile of goods. Then he turned around and poured Zhang Chen a glass of water. The two of them sat and chatted. Only then did Zhang Chen know that the little girl's surname was An, Saifan. "You can call me Xiaoan." Xiaoan smiled at Zhang Chen. "Are you so busy here every day?" Zhang Chen asked. "Yes, now customers have higher and higher requirements for promotional materials, so they all come to us." Xiaoan probably spent a long time with Chu Tianlin, and the tone of his speech were all influenced by Chu Tianlin. The guests inside left. As soon as Zhang Chen stood up from the sofa, he heard Chu Tianlin calling from inside, "Xiao Zhang, come in." Zhang Chen hurried in. Chu Tianlin looked at him and said, "We have already sent your design draft. It's good this time. It didn't embarrass my sister. Mr. Ni and the others are very satisfied. It's all taught by Sister Tianlin." Zhang Chen walked over and sat down opposite Chu Tianlin. He took out the envelope from his bag, put it on the table, and pushed it towards Chu Tianlin. Chu Tianlin picked it up, pinched both sides of the envelope with 2 fingers, and applied a little force, opened the seal of the envelope, glanced inside, and then put the envelope back on the table. She stared at the envelope for a while, then raised her head and asked Zhang Chen. "What's the meaning?" Zhang Chen's face turned a little red. He was really not very good at doing such a thing, so he stuttered and said, "Sister Tianlin, it's all because of your help that I can continue this job this time. I don't know anything, from how to design to how to communicate with customers, and you are always there to give me guidance. This mission should be completed by us working together. I think since we are working together, the reward should of course be half of yours." Chu Tianlin looked at Zhang Chen, smiled slightly, and asked, "Did someone teach you to say this?" Zhang Chen glanced at Chu Tianlin and found that Chu Tianlin was also looking at him. Zhang Chen's face turned redder. Chu Tianlin said, "I don't mean anything else. It's not that you are stingy or an ungrateful person. It's that you don't think so carefully and clearly. How do you say this? It's just that this is not what you would say. I feel that I am still an emotional person. When we cooperate, we hope that we can continue to cooperate, right? I hope this is a good start." Zhang Chen was a little embarrassed and didn't know how to answer. Chu Tianlin smiled and said, "To be honest, I am very happy that you can think of me. In this world, there are too many people who you have helped him and he still takes it for granted. Don't worry, I will still look for you if I have the opportunity in the future. Thank you, Sister Tianlin. Can you tell me now, who told you to say this?" Chu Tianlin looked at Zhang Chen with a smile. Zhang Chen muttered, "It's me, it's my girlfriend. It turns out that we are younger siblings. They are not simple, they are generous, they know what to give and what to give, and they have a good understanding of the general situation." Chu Tianlin said, "When you say that, I really want to meet my younger siblings. In this way, if you find time, I can treat you to dinner, okay? Let's get to know each other." Zhang Chen quickly said yes. Chu Tianlin pushed the envelope back and said to Zhang Chen, "But I can't accept the money. It's not that I'm arrogant or that I don't like money. If I don't like money, I wouldn't have gone to Guangdong in the first place. Do you think that's right? Don't worry, listen to what I tell you. I am introducing this business to you to help you and our customers. For our company, it is also to confirm this business as soon as possible and maintain customer relationships. After all, we are a service company, not a design company. Design is just one of the incidental services. This can be said to be a good thing that kills 3 birds with 1 stone. I did it magnanimously. But if I accept the money from you, the nature of the matter will change. It will become that I am profiting from it myself, and I am suspected of poaching the company. Do you understand? This is against professional ethics and my personal principles of doing things. Do you understand what happened? I think you won't embarrass sister, right?" Zhang Chen nodded. "I suggest you take this money and buy a BB machine. This way, it will be easier for my sister to find you in the future. After all, many opportunities in this mall are fleeting. Not everyone is like Mr. Ni. They have time to wait, there are many opportunities, and there are many people lining up, and you need to fight for them as soon as possible. Also, customers will need to come to you more often in the future, right? It's impossible to say that they have to go to you through your girlfriend every time. Your girlfriend still has time to go to and from get off work. Isn't this a waste of time? What do you say? Come on, if you want to do something, you need to do something first. If a worker wants to do his job well, he must first sharpen his tools." Zhang Chen said. "Yes, that's it." "Who said this?" "Kong Lao. Haha, this Kong Lao really knows how to talk. It seems like he is telling us what he is saying. Isn't it like what we often said when we were kids, never fight an unprepared battle? Zhang Chen smiled and said, I understand. Go ahead. The telecommunications building across the square has some. Buy it back and tell your sister the number, Chu Tianlin and Zhang Chen said. Zhang Chen went downstairs, walked through Woolen Square, and arrived at the telecommunications building opposite the square. There were 2 counters inside, specifically for selling BB machines and handling internet access services. Zhang Chen chose the cheapest Panasonic digital machine. The purchase fee and account opening fee were, internet access fees and monthly rent added up, it still cost more than 1,000 yuan. Zhang Chen didn't have enough money in his pocket, so he had to run back to the Red Flag Hotel. Xiao Zhao had already got off work and was still waiting for him here. Zhang Chen told Xiao Zhao about his arrival at Chu Tianlin's place. Xiao Zhao nodded and said, according to Sister Chu, she really can't accept the money, so what should I do? How should we thank her? Zhang Chen smiled and said, stop saying thank you. In turn, they want to invite us to dinner. They want to meet you. I also want to meet Sister Qu, Xiao Zhao said. Okay, let's buy the BB machine first. After buying it, we will go to their company together. I will also tell Sister Tianlin the number of the BB machine, Zhang Chen said. Xiao Zhao said okay, let's go. They arrived at the telecom building and bought a BB machine. Zhang Chen took Xiao Zhao to Hangcheng building. As soon as they entered Chu Tianlin's office, Chu Tianlin stood up. Zhang Chen wanted to say something, but Chu Tianlin waved her hand to stop him. Chu Tianlin looked at Xiao Zhao and asked. When I called that day, you were the one who answered the phone, right? Xiao Zhao nodded and said, yes, Sister Qu. Chu Tianlin smiled and said, it's true, he really lives up to his words. She turned around and looked at Zhang Chen and said, you don't need to introduce me, I know she is my sister-in-law. He immediately turned around and said to Xiao Zhao, sit down quickly, sit down quickly. Xiao Zhao sat down opposite Chu Tianlin and said to Chu Tianlin, thank you, I just wanted to come up and thank sister. Chu Tianlin waved her hand in front of her face and said, thank you for nothing, it's just a small thing. Xiao Zhao smiled and said, a little thing about my sister is a big deal to us. Chu Tianlin was stunned for a moment and said, yes, at such a young age, he is still very good at talking. Xiao Zhao's face blushed slightly and said quickly, I'm not young anymore, sister, I'm already 23. Chu Tianlin looked at her and said, I was still young. When I was 23, I just went to Guangzhou and had not yet arrived in Shenzhen. I didn't understand anything at that time and had to be taught everything. Xiaoan walked in and whispered to Chu Tianlin that Director Yang was here. When Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao heard that Chu Tianlin had guests arriving, they quickly stood up to leave. Chu Tianlin looked at his watch and told them, in this case, you go to the shopping mall or Huanbei market for a walk first, and come back at 5:30, we will come together go to Jinyuan on the 5th floor for dinner. Before the two of them declined, Chu Tianlin continued, don't refuse, otherwise my sister will be unhappy. I know you are fine, so don't make excuses. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao laughed, and Xiao Zhao said, okay, let's just listen to my sister. If I don't take advantage of my sister, who else will I take? All three laughed. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao were shopping in the Hangcheng Tower shopping mall downstairs. They went upstairs at 5:20. Chu Tianlin's guests had already left. She and Xiaoan were waiting for them. When they arrived, the four of them went to the 5th floor together. Jinyuan Restaurant. By the time the meal was finished, Xiao Zhao had changed from younger sibling to younger sister, and Xiaoan had become Xiao Zhao's younger sister. It turned out that she was really Chu Tianlin's cousin. Chu Tianlin and Zhang Chen said, I am Xiao Zhao's natal sister now. Don't think that she has no one in her natal family in Hangzhou. If you dare to bully her, see how I deal with you. Zhang Chen quickly said, don't dare, don't dare. Your mother's family is so powerful, I can only be honest. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 460. Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao went to Yongcheng the next day. Zhang Chen's parents were shocked when they saw them. Why did these two people go to Hangcheng and come back a few days later without making a phone call in advance? What happened? Xiao Zhao quickly said, "Without Mom, we are all fine, nothing will happen." Zhang Chen nodded and said, "Yes, something happened, something big happened." Zhang Chen's mother's face turned pale with fright, and she asked anxiously, "Speak quickly, tell me quickly, what happened, does it matter?" "It's very important," Zhang Chen said with a serious face. Xiao Zhao quickly hit him and scolded, "Oh, stop joking, you're scaring your parents." Only then did Zhang Chen tell them that Xiao Zhao was pregnant. The two of them breathed a long sigh of relief and immediately beamed with joy. Zhang Chen's mother spanked him hard on the buttocks and scolded him, "Debt collector, you almost took away my life." Zhang Chen's mother said that she was about to go out. She must go to the market to buy an old hen and bring it back to feed Xiao Zhao. Xiao Zhao wanted to go with her. She stopped Xiao Zhao and said, "Go and lie down on the bed and sit down. Don't be tired after driving for so many hours." She watched Xiao Zhao sit on Zhang Chen's bed. Zhang Chen asked, "Should I take a nap too?" Zhang Chen's mother rolled her eyes at him, took the pillow, put it on the other end of the bed, and told him to help Xiao Zhaohan's feet honestly. Zhang Chen looked at his mother in astonishment, and Xiao Zhao looked at him, laughing. Zhang Chen sat on the bed, and Xiao Zhao put his feet into Zhang Chen's arms. Zhang Chen said to Xiao Zhao with a bitter face, "Is there any justice? In Hangzhou, Sister Gihua is your mother's family, and Sister Tianlin is also your mother's family. Man, when we get to Yongcheng, you still take advantage. When we get to the county, it's okay. I still have no time to stand out." Xiao Zhao thought seriously for a moment, looked at Zhang Chen and shook her head. She said, "No, when we get to the county, Huo, the natal family there are very talented. If you dare to bully me, they will bury you." Xiao Zhao tickled Zhang Chen with his toes and said, "Baby, accept your fate. There is no way out if you resist stubbornly." When Zhang Chen and Xiao Zhao woke up, got up and walked outside, they smelled the sultry aroma. The old hen was already stewing on the briquette stove in the corridor outside. Zhang Chen's father was still sitting in front of the TV, with the brazier already evacuated. Zhang Chen's mother was busy in the kitchen, and Xiao Zhao hurried over to help. Not long after Zhang Chen walked over and sat down on the sofa, Xiao Zhao came over with his mouth pouted. Zhang Chen asked her what was wrong. Xiao Zhao pointed to the kitchen and said to Zhang Chen, "Mom didn't let me do anything and kicked me out. Leave it to him to watch TV." Zhang Chen's father said, and handed the TV remote control to Xiao Zhao. Zhang Chen shouted, "Why don't you give me the remote control when I come here, so that I can show you how to grow potatoes?" Zhang Chen's father snorted, "You don't have hands yourself." During the meal, Zhang Chen's mother really brought it up. She said that when you come back from Sichuan, you should go directly back to Yongcheng and don't stay in Hangzhou until the baby is born. "That's not possible, we still have to work," Zhang Chen said. "What's more important, work or children?" Zhang Chen's mother rolled her eyes at him. "Then you quit your job when you were pregnant with me?" Zhang Chen asked. Zhang Chen's mother was stunned. Zhang Chen's father said, "She, Sanba, is still active." Xiao Zhao chuckled, "Dad, you are swearing." "Ask her herself," Zhang Chen's father said. Zhang Chen's mother also laughed, "This is not a curse, I am really a March 8th red flag bearer. Xiao Zhao, let me tell you, when I was pregnant with Chen Chen, with such a big belly, I still participated in the county in the technical competition, I still won the first place. Mom is so awesome. Is there any bonus?" I was awarded a towel and an enamel teapot. Look, is it true that while your work is important, our work is not important? Jiang Chen said, dissatisfied. Can that be compared? When were we then and what time are we now? Jiang Chen's mother shouted. Is there anything that can't be compared? Do you know that the competition is more intense now than it was at that time? If we stay at home for half a year, we will become old antiques. If we go out again, our jobs will have been snatched away, and we still need. Do you know how difficult it is to adapt and become familiar with this society again? Jiang Chen said. Xiao Zhao also said, Mom, don't worry, we will take care of ourselves. I will follow my master. My master is very kind to me. Just like my own sister, she will also take care of me. Don't worry, and our landlord is my master's cousin, so we live there just like we live in our own home. But Xiao Zhao, don't worry about children's affairs. They have their own ideas. Besides, I don't think Xiao Zhao is that delicate, Jiang Chen's father said. That's right, Jiang Chen agreed. Mom, don't worry, it's okay, Xiao Zhao and Jiang Chen's mother said. Jiang Chen's mother was reluctant, but in the end she stopped ringing. When it was time to go to bed at night, this time Jiang Chen's mother did not ask Jiang Chen and Xiao Zhao to sleep separately. Instead, she carried a quilt to their bed, took a hot water bottle, stuffed it into Xiao Zhao's quilt, and told Jiang Chen to help. Xiao Zhao heated up the quilt and went back to sleep in his own quilt. Do you hear that? Xiao Zhao blushed and looked at Jiang Chen, chuckling. Jiang Chen shouted at his mother impatiently, I know, let's go quickly. In the middle of the night, Jiang Chen got up to go to the bathroom. He was wearing autumn clothes and long trousers. When he went outside to the living room, he was startled. He saw a person sitting on the sofa with his back to the side. It was his mother. She seemed to be crying. She was using a handkerchief. He kept wiping his eyes. Jiang Chen returned to the room, saw that Xiao Zhao was sleeping soundly, tucked her in the quilt, then put on his down jacket and went out, closing the door behind him. Jiang Chen tiptoed over and asked softly, What are you doing? Jiang Chen's mother was startled. She quickly wiped the tears from her eyes and said to Jiang Chen, It's nothing. I can't sleep. Let's sit outside. Did you quarrel with the old man? No. Then what's wrong with you? Jiang Chen said and sat down on a sofa nearby. Jiang Chen's mother looked back at the door of Jiang Chen's room, lowered her voice and said to Jiang Chen, Son, I think Xiao Zhao is good, but have you ever thought about it? She has an agricultural registered permanent residence, and she is about to give birth to a child again. When a child is born, the registered permanent residence must follow that of the woman. There is the word farmer means doing evil, and you don't know how much suffering you will suffer. Jiang Chen couldn't help but laugh. What did I think you were doing because of this? Is this still a small matter? This is a lifetime event. Tell me, how long has it been since our family got food stamps? How many years has it been since you used your food shopping book? This household registration is not just about food stamps. What else? Work. Is there anyone who wants to take up the job in your job now? You can hardly live in that broken factory, and the capable people are fleeing, right? There is no need to work here, and those who don't want food stamps, tell me, what's the difference between agricultural households and residential households? Jiang Chen's mother was left speechless by Jiang Chen's question. She thought about it, but she really couldn't think of any other differences besides these two items. Although she couldn't think of it, there was a knot in her heart. Just think about how many people there are. In order to get a resident household registration, life or death, then the first thing that comes to mind when rural people go to college or join the army is to get a household registration, isn't it? Old Li in their factory came from a rural family. When Old Li retired, his 3 sons almost died in the fight over who could take over the job. I just feel uneasy, Jiang Chen's mother said. Jiang Chen smiled and said, okay, let me put your mind at ease. Have you seen that there is a queue at the door of the county committee to sell household registrations? If your son has this money, when your grandson is born, if it doesn't work, I will buy it for them and their mother. Isn't it enough to have 2 household registrations? The so-called selling of household registrations was a way that many local governments at that time thought of because they had no money to develop the local economy, which was to sell urban household registration quotas to the majority of people with rural household registrations. Depending on the degree of economic development in various places, the price of an indicator ranges from 8,000 to tens of thousands. It is very popular with those who went to the city to do business and made some money, and even those who got rich first in the countryside. Although they were repeatedly banned, later, it became a completely public behavior. When the state banned it and stopped it everywhere, the urban household registration was no longer valuable. At that time, there was also the sale of household registration in Yongcheng. When Jiang Chen and the others got off the bus at noon, they saw a long queue at the door of the county government. Hearing what Jiang Chen said, Jiang Chen's mother was completely relieved and scolded, "Fool, why do you need to buy 2? Just buy 1 for Xiao Zhao. Both parents are residents, so the child is naturally a resident." "Okay, then buy 1. Then I'll ask tomorrow." "Okay, go ahead and ask." "Ouch," Jiang Chen's mother patted her thigh. "What happened again? The Pole sent you the money, did he ask you to give it to his family?" Jiang Chen's mother stood up as she spoke, walked back to the room, and came out with a remittance slip. When she saw the remittance slip, Jiang Chen understood what the money was. "Thank you book friend 1309222213433103 for your reward and monthly ticket. Thank you Li Rujin for your monthly ticket. Thank you for all the votes and reading.